Have you ever had one of those days where everything just keeps going wrong, and you can feel yourself getting closer and closer to your breaking point? Welcome to God Showed Up Stories. Real stories of faith, real struggles, and real moments where God shows up right on time. It was a Tuesday evening, just after 7:30. I remember because I had just microwaved a cup of coffee for the second time that night. I hadn't even touched it the first time. I was sitting at my small kitchen table, the kind that wobbles a little if you lean on it too hard, staring at 3 envelopes I had pushed to the corner earlier that day, hoping I could pretend they didn't exist. But they were still there, and I already knew what they were. Bills. The kind that don't give you options. I finally pulled one closer, ran my finger under the flap, and opened it slowly like somehow taking my time would change what was inside. It didn't. I stared at the total at the bottom of the page, and my chest tightened. I could feel my heartbeat in my throat. I set it down and reached for the second one, even though I didn't want to. Same feeling. Same sinking weight. By the third envelope, I just stopped. I leaned forward, elbows on the table, both hands pressed against my forehead, and just sat there. I remember whispering to myself, how did I let it get this bad? Because it didn't happen overnight. It never does. It was little things stacking up. Missed opportunities. Unexpected expenses. Waiting too long to deal with things. And now it was all right there in front of me. At the same time, my phone was sitting on the table beside me. Screen dark. Silent. I had checked it at least 5 times that afternoon, waiting for a call back about a job I had interviewed for the week before. I needed that job. Not just wanted it. Needed it. And every time I checked my phone, hopping to see a missed call or email, there was nothing. Just silence. And after a while, that silence started to feel loud. Like rejection, without anyone actually saying it. I pushed my chair back, grabbed my keys, and walked out to my car just to get out of the apartment. The air outside was cool, and the sky was already getting dark. I got into the driver's seat, closed the door, and just sat there. Didn't start the car. Didn't turn on the radio. Nothing. Just hands on the steering wheel, staring straight ahead. And for a few minutes, my mind went completely blank. No thoughts. No plans. No solutions. Just empty. That's when I said it. Quietly. I don't think I can keep doing this. As soon as the words came out, I felt it hit me. That heavy, sinking feeling in your chest, like everything is pressing down on you at once. I leaned my head back against the seat and closed my eyes. And for the first time in a long time, I didn't know what to say to God. Usually, I'd try to say the right words. Try to sound hopeful. Try to hold on to something. But that night, all I had was this. God, if you're there, I need you. That was it. No speech. No structure. Just something honest. I went back inside after a while and sat on the edge of my bed. The room was dim, just a little bit of light coming in from outside. My phone was on the nightstand. I picked it up again, even though I already knew. Still nothing. And that's when the thoughts started creeping in. What if nothing changes? What if this is just where I stay? What if I'm doing all of this alone? That last one, that one hit the hardest. Because it made everything feel heavier. Not just the situation, but the idea that maybe God wasn't going to step in this time. Eventually, I just laid back on the bed, still in my clothes, staring at the ceiling until I fell asleep. The next morning, I woke up around 8:15. For a few seconds, I didn't remember anything. Then it all came back. The bills. The silence. The wait. But something was different. I didn't feel that immediate panic. Instead, there was this quiet calm. Not happiness. Not relief. Just enough peace to breathe. I sat up slowly and looked around the room. And I remember thinking, okay, just do one thing. Not everything. Just one thing. So I did. I made one phone call I had been avoiding. Then I responded to one email. Nothing big. But it was movement. Later that afternoon, around 2:40, my phone buzzed on the table. I almost didn't check it. But something told me to. It was a message from someone I hadn't talked to in months. At first, it was just a simple, "Hey, how have you been?" But then the conversation shifted. They mentioned an opportunity. Something I hadn't even considered. And within that same conversation, one of the biggest financial pressures I had been carrying started to ease. I just sat there, staring at my phone, because it didn't feel random. It felt timed, like something had already been set in motion before I ever sat at that table the night before. And that's when it hit me. God had already been working. Not just in that moment, but before it, while I was staring at those bills, while I was sitting in my car, while I thought nothing was happening. He was already making a way. I just couldn't see it yet. And suddenly, that calm I felt that morning made sense. It wasn't random. It was reassurance. Like God was saying, I didn't leave you. Things didn't magically become perfect overnight. But something inside me shifted. I stopped feeling like everything depended on me. I stopped feeling completely alone. And I started trusting, even when I didn't understand everything. Because I realized something I'll never forget. God doesn't always show up when we expect him to, but he always shows up right on time. So if you're in a moment right now where everything feels like it's stacking up against you, if you're staring at your own version of those unopened envelopes, if you're waiting for a call that hasn't come, I need you to hear this. You're not alone. Even in the silence, God is working. Even when you can't see it yet, something is already shifting. If this story spoke to you, comment "God showed up" down below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to God Showed Up Stories, and turn on your notifications so you never miss a story. And share this with someone who might be going through a tough moment right now. Because you never know who needs this reminder. Thanks for listening. And remember, God always shows up right on time.